All right, so this is really interesting. Let's get into it. So all the blood pressure we measure is in the artery, so it's arterial pressure, not venous pressure. So that already is not applicable to what I was doing because I'm inflicting something in the venous structure, not the arterial structure. Another thing is my pressure exerted is not what's in the veins, it's what's inflicted pre-catheter. Because at the catheter tip should be zero. The pressure should be zero. If it's not, then there's an obstruction there, increasing the pressure when we flush. This is why we have the Bernoulli principle that collapses the vein. When we flush, it doesn't expand, it collapses because we're decreasing the pressure, not increasing the pressure. It's a whole nother conversation. What I'm talking about is still quite theoretical, although there are flow rate computational studies, as Peter Carr and Andrew Ballmer have published out there, like I believe 10 years ago, on the flow rate and catheter angle dwell. So the angle of your catheter has a exponentially inverse correlation to dwell time, so there's flow rate. So the more flow rate, the higher the angle, the more likely your catheter will fail, the sooner it will fail. And so we're going off of that flow rate and the effects of that flow rate, and the reason why I use PSI and pressure of how hard we flush is it's the easiest way to quantify and translate flow rate. We can't measure flow rate. We can measure pressure of how much effort and how hard we're pushing it. And so we convert it to pressures, and that's kind of where that goes in for all those pedanticists and engineers out there. Yeah, I know it's not PSI. However, it's the easiest thing we can measure our effort. And give me a metric of human effort. How do you quantify human effort? You can't. It's subjective. However, we can calibrate what we feel and how hard it feels to get to 1 PSI, 5 PSI, 3 PSI, 30 PSI, and know that that's what we're supposed to do, that's what we're not supposed to do. So I've calibrated myself and what I've been measuring with my own pressures and how hard I'm trying to flush it with the PSI and what I've observed under ultrasound. So what I feel like is less than 1 PSI, reduce the amount of turbulence inside of the vein. I encourage you, if you're really good with ultrasound and you can go longitudinal with your catheters, longitudinally observe your catheters while you're flushing and watch how hard does it take for you to cause turbulence. Turbulence increases shear force, and we want to reduce that, any kind of damage or shearing at the vein. All right, so here's what we don't know. We don't know what's the threshold, the minimum amount of PSI that we should be flushing before we start causing damage or complication. I know there's some out there that are measuring cellular debris, but I kind of don't care because the problem starts with glycocalyx erosion. So for me, it's what does it take for us to erode that glycocalyx causing that thrombosis? I don't think it takes that much. I'd rather do as least as possible until we find out.